Good day, everyone. So today we will discuss and share about the
Day?
utilitarian approach to ethics. So first, let me share Jeremy Betham motto. It says that the greatest good for the greatest number. So this motto of him is connected to what he believed, which is that the most promising way of reaching such an agreement was to choose the policy that will bring about the greatest net benefit to society once the harms has been taken into account that could so that so what is utilitarianism so it holds the morality means depend on balancing the beneficial and harmful consequence of our conduct. It is a moral principle that holds the morally right course of action in any situation. So, guys, who will share about the principle of utilitarianism? Anyone?
Um, so, the principle of utilitarianism invites us to consider the immediate and the less immediate consequences of our actions. It asks us to look beyond self interest to consider impartially the interests of all persons affected by our actions. So, individuals consider only their own utility, own selves, when deciding what to do for themselves. For example, if you are selecting a viand for yourself, the utilitarian viewpoint holds that you should select the food that will provide you with a great pleasure. If you like menudo but dislike afritada, you should choose menudo for the pleasure. It will bring and avoid afritada for the displeasure or the displeasure. Furthermore, if you enjoy both menudo and afritada, you should predict which viand will give you the most pleasure and choose that food. So in that case, utilitarian reasoning is being applied to a decision about which action is best for an individual person. In this case, it focuses solely on how the various possible choices will affect this single person's interest and disregard the interest of other people. So, as John Stuart Mill once wrote, the happiness which forms the utilitarian standard of what is right in conduct is not one's own happiness, but that of all concerned. As between his own happiness and that of others, utilitarianism requires him to be as strictly impartial as a disinterested and benevolent spectator. So, as the means of making the nearest approach to this deal, to do as one would be done by and to love one's neighbor as oneself constitute the ideal perfection of utilitarian morality. So, in an era today that some have characterized as the age of self interest, utilitarianism is a powerful reminder that morality calls us to look beyond the self to the good of all.
Can I discuss about the next part? Am I audible?
Yes, Alex.
Yes.
So first, I want to apologize, guys. I can't turn my camera on due to some network issues I have right now. So I hope you guys will understand. So yeah, I want to discuss about the next topic, which is about the problems with utilitarianism. So the problems are as follows. As you see, first, the utilitarian calculation requires that we assign values to the benefits and harms resulting from our actions and compare them with the benefits and harms that might result from other actions. And second, it fails to take into account considerations of justice. Well, actually, utilitarianism's primary weakness has to do with justice. A standard objection to utilitarianism is that it could require us to violate the standards of justice. I'll give you an example. Imagine that you are a judge in a small town, and then someone has committed a crime, and there has been some social unrest resulting in injuries, violent conflict, and some rioting. And then, as the judge, you know that if you sentence an innocent man to death, the town will be calmed and peace will be restored. But if you set him free, even more unrest will erupt with more harm, coming to the town and its people. So utilitarianism seems to require punishing the innocent in certain circumstances, such as this. We all know that it is wrong to punish an innocent person because it violates his rights, and obviously it is unjust and inhumane. But for the utilitarian, all that matters is the net gain of happiness. If the happiness of the many is increased enough, it can justify making one or maybe a few miserable in service of the rest. Utilitarianism requires that one commit unjust actions and certain situations, and because of this, it is fundamentally flawed.
So that's right. On that note, let's proceed to the application of utilitarianism on some social issues. So, corruption. Utilitarianism believes that an action can only be right if that action benefits a number of people in the society. With that being said, I would say that utilitarianism can be applied in solving corruption by terminating the corrupted officials from their titles. And by doing that, it does not only benefit the government, but the whole country itself. So we all know that one of the many social issues that the Philippines experiencing in the past few years is the corruption within the government. And it really affects us Filipinos, like it really affects our financial aspect or even in our individual lives. And in order to solve that, I think the corrupt government officials should be evicted from their job, just like what Duterte did in the past few years of his presidency. And this is utilitarianism. The action of evicting one or more government officials who are corrupted can only not benefit the government, but also the whole country of the Philippines. The next social issue would be the epidemic diseases. Widespread diseases like what we have experienced today with COVID-19 can only be stopped when when all of the people would be vaccinated. And by taking a risk, once the creation of the actual vaccine is done, it is necessary to have someone to test it out before actually use it to vaccinate everyone in the country. So having someone, as you know, like a guinea pig for a vaccination test is really like bad. Like it's really a bad idea to sacrifice one person just for that. But on the other side, doing that can also save many people, which can also be a good idea. And this is what utilitarianism believes. No matter how the action being executed, like it's either executed good or bad, as long as it benefits many, the action is good. Utilitarianism only cares about the outcomes, and others beyond that, like the moral codes, are just ignored in this theory. So that's it for the social issues.
So yes. So law is a set of rules developed by the government. Its objective is to set norms, maintain order, resolve conflicts, and protect liberties and rights. However, if utilitarianism is applied to a law, certain rules would have significant societal advantages, but would be undeniably immoral. Like for example, the death penalty. Yes, many people may agree with this type of law, especially with people who are victims of deviant practices. But in reality, the death sentence is wrong or unethical because it violates human rights and it is inherently cruel and irreversible. Next is advanced technologies. We are exposed to advanced technologies in this era. Many people may be happy and satisfied as a result of utilitarianism in relation to technology, but it can also lead to undesirable behavior. So let's take one of the technologies mentioned by Professor Michio Kaku in his speech, the internet contact lenses, as an example. As he mentioned, college students will be the first ones to purchase this type of technology, in which it allows them to access unlimited online information. However, if internet contact lenses are released to the public, the student will become more dependent on it, and the essence of learning will be disregarded.
So the last one is human happiness. So I have a question for all of you. How do you define happiness, or what makes you happy? Any volunteer that can answer my question? How about you, Jaya? What makes you happy? Family. How about Alina?
I define happiness when I am in a good mood. And what makes me happy is my family because their emotion effects. That's
Okay, thank you. How about Jay? How about you, Jay? What makes you happy?
For me, music makes me happy because every time I listen to a song, I feel warm. I feel comfortable. Like whenever I feel sad or like frustrated, I would listen to a song. So yeah.
So you're a singer.
No.
Example, Char. So how about you, Jane?
What makes me happy is my friend, the support of my friend. In times when I have a problem with my family, I will go to my friend and have a shot.
How about you, Alex? What makes you happy?
So I just want to share that actually right now I am conducting a quantitative research for our math subject, and the title of my research paper is about the happiness index of MKD students. And upon collecting the results and findings, it is my understanding that um, people get happiness from the support and the care that they enough support and care that they get from their parents, their friends, and colleagues, and as well as being satisfied with life, such and those factors include such as financial stability, um being a complete family and such. So those were the factors that um somehow affect a person's happiness. And also personally, I think those were also the factors that affect my happiness as well.
Yeah, very well said, Alex. Thank you, guys. So,
Wow, nagkadimao bagong di ka. Go, 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 go.
sige. Thank you, Alex, for that wonderful answer. And good luck for your research. So, guys, yes, we all have different reasons why we're happy. And you're lucky enough that you are knowledgeable enough to know what makes you happy, because there are other persons who doesn't know how to make themselves happy. And that,
Excuse me, Mary.
what?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can go.
How about you? What makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Ano, my friends, my family, yeah, they are the one who makes me happy, and also myself, because I love myself, and myself makes me happy sometimes. It may be a crazy action for everyone, but yeah, myself makes me happy, and I'm so lucky that I can make myself happy. Did I answer your question, Alex?
Yes, of course, definitely.
Yeah. So
Perfectly.
thank you. So there are many kinds of happiness. Like, for example, you are genuinely happy. And just a simply as a reason, simply as action, you're happy. And there are also times that you don't know the reason why you're happy. You just feel it. There are times that you make there are times that you are just happy without knowing any reason about it. You just feel it, and that is genuinely happy. And there are also happiness that is not associated with a purpose, but rather a response to a stimulus behavior. Like, for example, you have your friends, a peer of groups. In that peers, there is this one person who always throw some below the belt jokes, and that joke makes that person hurt because he or she uses a person just to make everyone happy. So in that case, the person who used to make everyone happy might feel hurt, might struggle a lot, but still chooses to express happiness because people are happy of that reason, even though she struggled. And I also experienced that one, and it felt bad. I felt bad about them. So, in connection to utilitarianism, uh, utilitarianism would say that an action is right if it results in the happiness of the greatest number of people in a society or a group. So if your peers action is to make some joke just to make everybody happy, it becomes right. It becomes right to the to the eye of everyone. It becomes right because that makes them happy. But to that person who experienced bully, uh, that person just accept that just kanang tawag sa tawag kanang
Go, 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 go.
tawag nag
Man.
ano yun that person sacrifices the sadness and the below the belt jokes just to make them happy, just to make the group happy. And utilitarianism state that pleasure or happiness is the only thing that has intrinsic value. Actions are right if they promote happiness and wrong if they promote unhappiness. So everyone's happiness counts equally. So if you know, if you have a group who bully some people, please take an advice to them. It may be right, but it is so wrong to hurt people, right? Diba?